And hello, welcome everyone. I'm Nuno the Second, and today we are here for round number 8 of Ultimate League Season 12. And today we are here in the Marina Bay circuits for the Singapore Grand Prix. As you can see, it's a quite really nice street circuit. And today should be also a very chaotic one, so stay tuned for today's race. It's coming to the Looking at the standings coming to this race, Sobo is leading the championship with 39 points on his teammate Hanandi, who is in second, despite missing one race and having a P13 on the opening round. So I would say LSA really looking really strong and a solid team this time. And finally, after 1 year, they might finally get the strategy. It is how it's looking like. And right now, Graf is on provisional pole position, and look who's at the back row right now. It's Anti and Noms, both in P17 and P18. What the hell is happening with them? Noms, I could actually understand he probably didn't practice for today's race, but Jesus Christ, he's last right now. It's not really common of him. He used to be a master of qualifying uh, during his prime days. But now he's scrapped with a huge surprise in qualifying, and it's, I would say, not a bad lap, but we could certainly see some drivers beating that. But let's see now, second lap. Can someone still... Oh, there he goes, Grandy! ChargedJT on the front row, Shironi third! What the hell is this qualifying? Well, the only P8 is tied actually with Cubo and Hanandi. We also have Sobo, then he made the tie there for P5, so... Oh my god, what a qualifying we're having right now. I was really not prepared for this. As they're now going for the last lap. It's only 3 laps qualifying, and there should be certainly a lot of huge pressure for a lot of drivers here. And who's gonna take pole position here in Marina Bay? You see they're about to finish the final lap. They're on the final straight right now, and who's gonna get it? ChargedJT, there he goes, 37.12. What a crazy lap! Was a second. Oh my god, let's then take a look at the qualifying results. And it's ChargedJT starting on pole position for SCP. I think it's been quite a long time since SCP gets a pole position, but it's certainly first ChargedJT's UL pole, and this could be really a big surprise as we got then Buddha starting alongside on front row after finally coming back after most part. I think that was his last race. And then we got Granny starting on third place, just ahead of Shiruni, doing really well in qualifying. As we got then ISO Lizards with a new BER livery. It's a special livery, I think, with a indoors car. It has a roof, so cannot really call it an open wheeler. So yeah, then we got here Cubo starting on P6, just ahead of Kraft, was in pole position after the first lap. And then you got then he made it here in the middle for LSA sandwich. We got Sobel P8 and Hernani only starting for P10, who should be one of the favorites for the win of today's race, but he's started quite at the back, so he has quite a lot of work to do on today's race. And then we got Nam started from P11, so he managed to save himself. And then we got Pemushas in P12 just ahead of Grozim, then Anti only P14. Could he finish once again outside of the top 10? That would really not be ideal. As then we got Corvid also not having a quite disappointing qualifying as well. He should also be one of the candidates at least for the top 5. As then we got Gletzi, then Calvin. He started from quite at the back, and you can certainly see from P1 to P17, it's just 55 seconds as he reaches more than just 1 second behind. So yeah, not really best of qualifying there from Marist. But yeah, you certainly didn't practice much, but now putting the right settings for the race. Just the 10% quali, 10% rain, I mean. And yeah, we got 39 laps for today. Interesting enough, that's the gap that Sobol has to his teammate on the championship. And also, LSA is leading the Constructors' Championship by 66 points on full force. But it doesn't seem likely that they will seal the title on this round. Same thing with Sobol. Then he would need to finish outside the top 10, while he would need to take the win. So yeah, I think the drivers should soon be ready to start what should be a very exciting race today here on the streets of Singapore. Okay, we're taking some time to get ready. Only solvent permissions. But yeah, this start at the beginning should be interesting. The tires that the drivers can choose for today's race. They could either opt for a pit stop saving, or they could try and go for the fastest pace. Because there are some big straight. Don't forget that it's the 2023 layout, so we have that big back straight at the end. But here you go now. It's gonna have a cloudy start, but here we go. We are racing in Marina Bay. ChargedJT starts on pole. You see Buddha on the inside, but cannot pass him. So Buddha setting for the mediums, and I think he will be happy to start there in seconds. We see big crash there. Also, this was too much on the inside on the grass, and he's losing quite a lot of positions already. As we see here, Kraft on P4, then Juruni, then we got here Cubo. As we see some big crashes here. Almost we saw got Noms and Pamusha side by side, and Stanimator as well up there. Let's see now, can people survive this tight airpin? I think they can. Oh my god, Rozim getting really killed there. Let's see now, more at the front now. ChargedJT leading the way, then it's put a second, ready up to third, and you got Kraft there and Cubo. So good start there from Full Force, as they both got both drivers there on the top 5. And also from the LSAs, you got here Nadia and Sobol climbing at least 3 positions each other, I think. But you got here a big train from first to up to P8, so almost that's basically almost half the grid there. We see, can they just slip team each other, or are they going to climb up those positions? We see now Cubo gets pushed to the outside, and now we got Graf, and now this is the group splitting up now. Only 4 drivers here at the front group. You see Grandy having to back off from Sobol. So yeah, we got then Charlie, Wooden, and Sobol and Grandy. I think they might settle down now, as they have pretty much a good start right now. Then we got here Cubo, then it's Graf and Hanandi. They all seem to be slipstreaming each other right now, although I think that airplane still causes a lot of issues to some of the drivers. But yeah, now we got here Sobo now trying to sneak line inside. Can he make the move on Buddha though? As Buddha tries to keep it around the outside, and I think he can keep the second place. And I'll say, I think it doesn't really matter the position as long as they keep the slipstream from ChargedJT. As you can see right now, Buddha really trying to shut the door, as you can see right now. Oh my god, Sobol goes a little bit to the grass on that final chicane, but he managed to survive it. And now Buddha goes for the inside, I think to defend from second place. And yeah, here he goes, he breaks early. So that was only to defend, not to attack the first place of ChargedJT. But now Charge makes a mistake. Buddha's up into the lead of the race. As you got here, then Sobol now in third. Then you got here Grandy still in P4. He's been relaxing there. And now let's see if Buddha has the pace to run away from these drivers. He might potentially have it. That airpin 30 is one of the places where they could run away. They can easily crash on the wall on inside and also on the outside, which causes you some momentum there on the exits. So yeah, you got now Buddha on the lead. Will ChargedJT try to take it back? I think maybe at this point Buddha might already be faster on those mediums, as of course the mediums will be fresher. There's already someone is on the pits. I think Razim and I saw these lords. After just 4 laps, they certainly pitting early. Maybe kind of adopting the same type of strategy that Anti and Danimator opted on the last round in Yokoyama, as they pit after 3 laps on that race. But yeah, right now looks like Randy is falling off this group. Looks like he is losing contact there to the top 3. As then we got Cubo catching up to him right now. Maybe I didn't exactly saw what happened there with the Finnish driver. But yeah, at front not really much happening, but we do have a big battle here with Nandi. Try to recover once again. He's not really having the race that he would like to have, as he's in this group here with Pamush, Danny, Jruni, and Noms. So it's like Animator Noms coming back once again as reserve drivers. We got here, yeah, I think it's kind of like in the Alton Park race, I'm pretty sure. As we see here, Pamush is touching that ball. Now Noms is gonna make the move there. As in the meantime, Usako, oh my god, big light rocket there! Oh my god, they managed to save it! And once again, another light rocket, Buddha gets the penalty. Sobo is gonna take the lead of the race. Oh my god, what happened there? I think Sobo wanted to pit, but he couldn't because of that light rocket. Then Buddha takes a very weird penalty, and now Sobo is up into the leaders. Some drivers have pitted already. We got here ChargedJT, then Scuba and Brandy here went to the pits. And now ChargedJT is on the medium, Scuba on hards. We see also Brandy and Corville. Then also Craft on the mediums, yeah, it's looking very interesting. Some drivers really going long right now. I think it might potentially pay off if the other drivers are spotting each other, but they seem to be slipstreaming, so yeah, looks fine as right now. Buda understandably goes for one more lap on the mediums. 8 laps seems to be the ideal stint amount, or as we got Noms right behind him. Could Noms be able to climb up if he managed to catch up to Buda here? That could be interesting. And another interesting deal will be how much will Buda get undercutted, because Buda did lost some time with that penalty, and you can see here Sobo was quite far ahead. He's only P8 right now, so big undercuts happening right here, right now, and yeah, really looking interesting. We see right now Buda should pit on this lap, and I think Noms will follow him. Or no, actually Buda is gonna stay out for one more lap. As Noms dives into the pits. So interesting strategy there from Buda. I think he really wants to save one pit stop and almost do like a hard stint run. As we got here then Cubo slipstreaming ChargedJT for second place, then we got Brandy racing P4, then is Corvid and Kraft. And then you got here Sobol, and then this group for free, you got here, then Hetmenneke now makes a mistake, but Musha's got for inside, he pushes Nandi on the process. You got here, yeah, Nandi only P10, that's quite, guys, it's certainly gonna be a big disappointment right now as he goes around the outside of Hetmenneke. That's a nice move there. And now he's on the outside into the chicane, can he survive it? And yes he can, but oh, I think he pushes the Musha's out there. Scarby goes for the second pit stop, Buda pits as well. And I wonder if Corvid wanted to pit right now on lap 10. I feel like he may have got pushed by Buda. It's possible because of the huge ping. But I'm not really sure. But yeah, Buda leaves the pits right now only P10. That's how close this grid has been. As he's got completely undercutted by a lot of people. But now he makes a good move there on Gironi as he makes a mistake on inside. But let's see now, he's going to have to pass Nandi. And I think he might be wanting for people to let him pass because he has the softs, very fresh soft tires. So let's see if they're gonna do that or not, or if they're gonna fight. As you see right now, Buda is past Nandi, now on the inside of Pamushas, and on the inside of Hetmenneke, but Hetmenneke goes back on the exit of turn 2, or turn 3 as we got here. Then Hetmenneke and Pamushas going side by side there, we got Noms right behind, and it's Nandi as well. But now you can see Hetmenneke gets a little bit pushed on the wall, and now Nandi's gonna pass Pamushas as well. And I think Buda might be able to get away from this group unless Noms can still keep the slipstream. I don't think he can, so this is very crucial for Buda right now to have this clean air and then be able to catch up to the drivers right ahead. As we got here, Brandy and Kraft, they're all using either mediums or hards, so they might be on the same level, on the same number of pit stops, so Buda really needs to catch up to these drivers. Because he's on the soft and fresh off, so the pace difference needs to be as big as possible. Because right now we got at the front still Cubo just slipstreaming ChargedJT. They pretty much having a really chill race, but as you can see now, I think ChargedJT tires are really starting to get starting to fall off right now as he started to get some understeer and not having not enough traction. And then we got this group here for third place. It's Nandi, Kraft, and Sobol, and then we got Buda following them. They got here Noms, Nandi, and Hetmenneke and Pamushas. They all were left fighting alone as Buda managed to get past them, but I think they were certainly cooperative. But now Cubo goes for a second pit stop. And yeah, now it's Cubo leading, of course, as he got past ChargedJT. Right now you can see Buda already catching up to that group for that was battling for third place and already got past all the three of them. That's very an impressive job once again by Buda. As we see here, Buda really has some fresh soft tires, so he might get undercutted once again. So let's see, Sobol will certainly try to stay within the Estonian slipstream, because he really needs it. His mediums are much older than Sobol's soft tires. Then we got here Kraft also doing a very solid race, kind of reminds me of the Alton Park, the race that he did, where he managed to get the P5 and was battling for the podium for a long time as well. That's actually award Lynx Racing some big points, so RMC might really be careful with them.
They really might, yeah. That would be a massive shame. Sorry about that, folks. Traffic on the way to the Marina Bay circuit, an absolute nightmare it turns out, as we see Sobel coming into the pit lane. Yeah, just popping in to comment that ChargedJT takes SCP's first pole position in 48 races since Cosmo got it back in UAE at the end of Season 7.
So it's been more than a year since an SCP driver's got the pole position. That's really interesting. And thanks, Skip, for the stats as well. And yeah, right now we got Cubo leading the way now as ChargedJT is on for the second pit stop on the mediums. And Shiruni, Kubo might be pitting pretty soon, and Sobel, not Sobel, Buddha is right behind, so we got the full force 1-2 for now. But yeah, Kubo goes to the pitch. Sobel, not Sobel, Buddha, what the hell am I mixing up the names? But yeah, we got Buddha into the pits. Going for soft once again, he seems to like these soft tires. So this might be interesting because he's gonna have to do a very likely an extra pitch stop compared to the other drivers, as he's right behind Sobel. But here he goes now. Buddha gets past the standings leader. We got some here a little bit of a train now. It's Nomskar's train here, as he's leading the way on old mediums. As we got here ChargedJT trying to get past him, and here we go. Sobel, Nomskar isn't really fighting that much. And now maybe is he gonna try to stay out to slipstream, or he's gonna go to the pitch? Yeah, he's gonna stay out, looks like. As he's racing for FCR, who came in here with a special livery with the pink with the flower that usually used to be pink, but for today's race it's red. And then you got
interesting that viewers of Challenger League might be familiar with the current top two, because they seem to be slinging it out most weekends in the second division. They're certainly really stepping up today here, and you see Nomskar, a multiple champion in the league, just move to one side, let them through for the lead. A massive battle between the Corvid, Kraft and Grandy behind though.
Yeah, seems to be a big battle here. We see Corvid side by side with Kraft, but Corvid goes into the pits, and it's like he has some trouble there going to the pits. Maybe some ping issues, as I believe maybe earlier on he looked like he maybe got pushed by Buddha, not really sure. But either way, yeah, we do got the top two of CL here. ChargedJT and Cubo leading the way, but Buddha is certainly coming with fresh softs, although his softs are now older than Cubo's hards. So yeah, it is looking really interesting with it. Here's Sobel, and then Grandy here. The battle for P4, but they're not really battling that much. I don't think a lot of drivers are battling that much. So I think you might have to look a little bit at the back. We got here the biggest ping drivers here. We got Corvid vs Cadel for P12. And now Cadel goes into the pits, then Corvid is staying out. So he has fresh tires. Yeah, Cadel not really having the best of races. He's only in P16 now. P17 is behind Plexi. But now we're gonna have some quality announcement. So will this call the rain later on? That will be interesting. We could check up things a lot, but right now the race is started looking pretty chilled. There's a lot of drivers that slipstreaming each other. As you see here, Grandy making an overtake here on Sobel. What P4? You see also Grandy. So we might have some chaos here. We got four drivers look like battling a little bit with each other. Now Sobel goes around the outside of Grandy. And now
we're gonna have a rain!
Here we go. We are gonna have a rain indeed. So this will be interesting. Some drivers have old tires, but I think maybe not gonna change that much because it's full rain, so everyone is gonna have to go into the pit. So the big question is who has lost a lot with this. I think Carlo was certainly one of them. He has 4 pit stops already. And I think
Nomskar's dropped down to 10th as well. He was sitting in 2nd and 3rd.
Oh yeah, he certainly pitted very recently, so that's a big loss for him. And yeah, we got here Pamushas hitting the pit wall. He's gonna lose some time. Looks like Candy and Solo having some team orders here. Now the race is gonna end! Can someone pit for dry tires in time? Or will they pit for Inter still to not risk it? I think Eurysis stayed on the mediums. Let's see how are Eurysis tires. Because I want to see if they're old or not. No, they're quite new, so he might be able to gain, finally. He might be able to gain something with the rank, because he often loses. Now he's almost like in last place, but he's having some lag issues, I think, with Cadel there. But now he's obviously struggling, but maybe he might be able to climb up a few positions, but I'm not really sure. Because the others will be pitting, and they all gonna have some new tires compared to him. So let's see, looks like the drivers will still have at least one more lap with those wet tires. We got ChargedJT leading the way. Very impressive race. I gotta say, finally things are looking to be going well for him, because oftentimes he's seen as one of the candidates for top 5 or maybe even the podium, but oftentimes he ends up at the bottom of the top 10, or maybe outside of it as well. But now things are going finally good, going well for him, as now he got 2 full force drivers on the chase against him.
Yeah,
Now,
let's not quite jinx it just yet, but this is, as we sort of would expect with Singapore, an absolutely historic race that's shaping up to be. Cubo has never been on the podium before, nor has ChargedJT, and obviously goes without saying, neither of them have been Grand Prix winners in ultimately either. Scuderia Paracaro have not won a race in 53 since Pamuchas took victory at France Kartings. This is absolutely huge, and our first-time race winner, well, since Buda. Let's see if he can make it number 2 for him.
yeah, this should be really interesting. And right now, this rain has simply reset a lot of things. Now, everyone just kind of starting once again now with strategies. We see ChargedJT on the lead, going for mediums, Cubo going for the soft tires, Buda opting for the hards, so 3 different compounds of tires for the top 3s. Right now, we got also the LSAs slipstreaming each other with the mediums. Just like Hetmenneke has got quite a solid recovery after the disastrous qualifying, where he only got P10. And then you got here also Randy and Graf, Randy on softs, Graf on medium, so he said he's gonna be slipstreaming him. Then you got Pamuchas here on P8 on the soft tires, and it's Noms, and Hetmenneke with mediums and hards. Then you got Corvid on softs, Journey on softs, Anti as well. Same for I Still Resorts, Kado, Letzi, and then Razim on the hards, and then he reached some last place on the mediums. And he's on very old mediums, so I think staying out was not the best decision in the end, because it certainly rained too much, where they had at least 2 laps of inters and wets. So
yeah, there's a certain level where it gets to the point it's just better to come in for the inters. And those who did come in for the inters, well, Anti looking at potentially a second finish outside the top 10 in his career. But yeah, unbelievable job by JT. This might be more of a focus next race rather than this race, but as we see the LSAs try to attack Buda, Hanandi basically only needs to finish this race to stay in championship contention, but it is closing up very much. Sobel currently has a 39-point lead and now leads over his teammate in this race.
And it looks like Curisa, know what happened, he's pulled off in one of the pockets, and quite weird what happened is we got Cubo really getting close to ChargedJT, but he's on the soft tires, so soon they're gonna start to get old. And then you got, yes, Skip has said, LSA drivers were certainly catching up to Buda. So they're certainly showing the pace right now. It's really looking interesting. Things are starting to heat up, as I think they're having just 30 laps to go.
We're gonna have rain!
And it's light rain this time, so we don't know if the rain will stay for long or not. ChargedJT and Cubo have no choice. Same thing for all of the top 5, as we're now Promotion has decided to stay out. Hetmenneke as well. Graf is pitted for the Inter, so now this is gonna be interesting. This could really shake up everything, as we see right now. But I think ChargedJT and Cubo have a lot of time to see if the rain will stay or not. But let's see right now, the rain is about to hit the track, and here we go, it's fake rain! It is gonna be fake rain, so everyone who's pit is gonna lose with this. That includes Graf, Corvid, and Giron is gonna lose, is gonna gain a lot with this, I would say. Or maybe not that much, because he has old soft, so maybe he's gonna have to pit soon, but still being in the top 10 is not the bad thing for him right now. As we got here the FCR drivers, Noms and Corvid in P11, P12. But yeah, nothing really changes that much at the front. But now we got here a battle for third place. It's Buda versus the LSA drivers. So things are really starting to heat up right now. As Cubo is trying to catch up to ChargedJT, but I think soon he's gonna have to pit with 11 laps to go, so maybe he might opt to go for the hards. Or maybe going for the softs as well, that could be possible, or unless he stays out for one more lap. No, he's going to the pits right now. Let's see what tires he's going to choose. He's gonna be soft tires, so he's really going for the 5+6 soft tire strategy. So things are really starting to get interesting. It's where the strategy are starting to shape up things. But yeah, we got Buda on the hards. He might start just do one more pit stop until the end. But I'm not really sure about the drivers who pitted for the mids. I think Sobo is pitted already. Yeah, he's pitted for the soft tires as well. Same thing with the Cubo. So, and they got undercutted by Grandy. And this is one thing. It's a really big track. It's only a 39 lap race, and that means that each undercut can really be quite huge here.
Tires will be crucial, definitely towards the end of this race. Yeah. Buda not making any friends in the LSA garage at the moment. I just saw a couple laps ago he squeezed Hetmenneke right into the wall, but that backed up Sobel as well. They kept in a slipstream and Sobel came into the pit lane, but definitely not going to be ending up there with a seat next season. We can say that for sure.
Yeah, we got also right now Sobel here. Not really a battle because Brand is slipstreaming here, but yeah, he's right now in P5. They might be looking to undercut both Wood and Hetmenneke, because Hetmenneke now goes into the pits with 9 laps to go. What
JT
are
in
they
as
going
well.
to? And here he goes, Hetmenneke on the hards and JT on hards as well. So they have pitted for the last time, and this means Cubo, who made the undercut, is gonna have to pit time and try to have more pace while he's on the soft tires, on the faster tires. So let's see what can Cubo do to catch up to these drivers. As also we got Bud as well having to pit one more time, and I think he might pit now for mediums with 8 laps to go. I think that would make sense. But once again it's a 1-2 for full force, but that will not be for long. And then we got here ChargedJT getting undercutted by Sol, but crucially he's on his slipstream, so this could be really useful for the JT here. For the ex RMC reserve driver and current SCP main driver, after Rams had to leave as he was not having the conditions to go into the races, and so he has retired and left his seat for the SCP. And yeah, either way, we got here Sobel now in this battle for second place. They got some chaos here on that tight hairpin, but I think crucially enough, yeah, I think ChargedJT, is he keeping the slipstream or not? Okay, I think he's keeping it, so that's crucial once again. Because then we got also Randy, he's just staying behind on this race. I think he's certainly been one of the most skilled drivers who's always stayed behind everyone as he possibly could and just slipstreaming them, and he's having a solid result because of that as well. And then we got Bruce right here on fresh mediums, trying to catch up to them. This is basically becoming like a pace battle right now. It looks like he's already got past Nani. That's also very crucial because he knows he now has better tires than him, so yeah, I think not really much to say. I think Cubo sooner or later is gonna have to pit, and here he goes, he's pitting for the final time. And interesting enough, he's gonna have the worst position, but he's gonna have the better tires. Wendy's also pitting for the last time. As yeah, we've got Sobel switching with ChargedJT. Looks like I think he wants ChargedJT to pass him. Yeah, there you go. Sobel gonna let him pass. He knows his softs are starting to get too old to be the one leading that group. But now ChargedJT is maybe running away with it. That will be interesting. But yeah, ChargedJT will be leading. He's not gonna pit till the end of the race, but he's gonna be potentially the one with the worst tires. So everyone is going to be after him on this last team. So there should be a lot of pressure around him. But let's see what can he do. What can the STP driver do?
Sobel into the pit lane. 5 laps to go.
Yeah, there you go, Sobel. So he had a very similar strategy with Cubo and Grandy, and now he's finally pitting. I wonder if Cubo. I think Cubo should be ahead of him at the end. Yeah. And there you go. Cubo is up past Nandi. Nandi is on old hards. Not really much that he can do apart from slipstreaming him. And he should try to lose as least time as possible. I think it could be possible for him to stay on the slipstream and then go for that podium fight in the end. Although I think Cubo will certainly be catching his teammate Buddha in second place. So this is it. It's the same situation kind of as Olton, where the driver who's most in front is the driver with the worst tires. So everyone will be getting closer and closer towards the end of the race. So stay tuned.
I'll tell you what. The one driver who I really wouldn't want in my wing mirrors if I was in JT's situation is Buddha. Sobel has to think about the championship. Kubo's looking to close things out. Buddha has missed a lot of races this season. He is here for blood. He is here for the win. And he is here to try and steal that first win away from the young Brit.
And Buddha has really nothing to lose here. So yeah, he can really go for all, but let's see, he's in second place right now. Let's see the lap times. That could be interesting right now. We got ChargedJT crossing line for a 30.38, and Buddha does a 48.20, so he got basically 2/10 faster. The last lap is now there's only 3 laps to go on this race, and we got the top 6 drivers quite close to each other. Yeah, we got Randy and Sobel on fresh soft tires, Cubo as well as Cubo. I think he's getting rid of Hetmenneke right now. Hetmenneke is losing the slipstream, so that could be his podium chances out of the way potentially, unless there's something that happens here with the top 3 drivers. As you got also Bud is something getting closer to ChargedJT and Cubo getting close to Bud as well. So Let's see
Buda's
right now.
got to let him through. He's got to let him through because Kubo's got a fresher tyre. I reckon Kubo could catch JT here. He's got 2 laps to do it.
Yeah, could be quite historic because once, as we said before, Cubo could be on for the first win, but let's see, Buda is going to be out of the way.
He lets him through. That's exactly what he's done.
Yeah, there's some team orders, and Buda certainly understands it. It's a win on the line here, and Full Force, who's been in second place on the constructors, could certainly gain good points here on the LSA today if they manage to get the 1-2. But you can see some conflict here. Cubo makes a mistake. Buda tries to go side by side into the chicane, but he has to back off right now. They're losing some time. It's the final lap of the race right now. Could ChargedJT get the win, or is one of the Full Forces going to do it? I think they are starting to battle each other. That might not be ideal. But yeah, let's see right now. Buda goes for the sideline for the second place. Cubo wants him to slipstream. This is not good communication right now. They go side by side right now. Looks like Buda takes second place as they're just messing up each other. I think ChargedJT is running away with it. I think ChargedJT is going to take the win. I think he's going to do it. There's not much time to go. As you can see, only less than a half a lap, not even that. And here he goes now. ChargedJT is going to take the win in the Singapore Grand Prix. Let's see who's going to take second. It's going to be Cubo for the first time in the podium. That pulls on his return goes on the podium as well. Grandy up to P4. And then it's Nuddy, P5, then it's Sobol. Then it's Nuddy Mater, Graf. And then it's going to be Pemushas. Then it's Juni. And then it's Nomskar, Corville. Oh my god, what a race this was. In the end, you see now, oh my god, Antti is gonna get past Rosin right in the end, and once again he's out of the top 10. But for some reason he said he was behind Rosin there. Quite weird. You got Carlo in P16 and it's Kletzy. And he's quite far behind today, not really the best of races for him. But here we go, ChargedJT wins a race, and I think he's only the second British driver to win a race after... no, actually, it's the first British driver to win a race.
First ever British driver to win an ultimately Grand Prix. JT, he's done it.
And here you go, ChargedJT takes his first ever win. What a surprising race, and Cubo takes the first ever podium. If you want a very, very inspiring story, Cubo, on his first ever races, he was in last place and very far behind everyone else. This was back in Season 9, almost a year ago. And now he's in the podium, so he's pretty much showing that everything is possible. You see here Buda on his return, he takes a podium as well. Then Grandy takes P4, he managed to get past both LSA drivers as Nuddy and Sobel will be in P5 and P6, and his steady mate on P7. And Graf with yet another top 10 with Promotions and Jurani closing that top 10. Then Nomskar with the fastest lap will be in P11 with the 37.08, and his Corvin in P12 just ahead of Rosim and Anti-Amazing. Then S12 his horse will be in P15 ahead of Kado, and then it's Kletzy and Risk running up the grid. And here we go, next round is going to be in South Korea on the young track. It's the track made by Hanandi, and the track that used to host some of the Formula 1 races on the early 2010s. And
let's get some interviews going. No, let's get some interviews going. Come on. We gotta have JT on. Have you still recording?
Yes.
Grand. Right. Let's have some people being interviewed. This is unbelievable. It's gotta be said that the Flow Force's abilities to not work as a team on the final lap is what cost them the victory. Either of them would have won it. But because they kept on fighting, especially through that sort of first to second sector, the 90-degree corners, that has absolutely thrown the win away, and that could be crucial because this is huge for them in the constructors as well. Massive points back too. It's an interesting comparison you draw to Alton earlier in the race, and you draw to Cubo being last. ChargedJT, by a very long way, was in last place in Alton Park for round 2, and now in round 8 he is 1. That has got to be the shortest turnaround from last to first you've ever seen in this league. Someone message JT and get him to undeafen because we need to get an interview with him. But for time being, Cubo, it's your first ever podium, P2, but it could have been more than that. What are your feelings?
I'm just very happy. I don't care if P3, P2, or P1. It's a podium. I fought for the win there. And at the end, Buda did battle me, and we lost JT, but I think it's a completely deserved victory for him as well. And what a race! What a race, man!
That is one of the most unbelievable results I've seen in all my time in Ultimate League. But that was really quite something. Do you think the win's just around the corner with a performance like that?
Well, I'm gonna keep trying, and eventually, might just work out.
Here we have him. It's our race winner for the very first time, the first ever British driver to win an Ultimate League Grand Prix, ChargedJT. How did that one feel?
I cannot believe that this is happening. Throughout the race, I was literally constantly my heart was just going the whole race. There was no rest. It's unbelievable.
It defies description, the team that's been stuck to the bottom for so long, that is now winning races, and the driver who has lost. I mean, what's the ascension been like for you? What's the secret been in 6 rounds to turn it around from last to first?
The secret is just to, I guess, just get good. Or just practice loads. I did lots of practice this week. It's unbelievable. But yeah, it works out.
No doubt. Largely helped by the British Driver Academy, no doubt.
Exactly, of course.
And that's unbelievable. And there's definitely going to be rumours circulating about your seat next season. Can you put anything to rest with that? Any contracts being signed?
Well, almost definitely BAR.
Oh,
as.
interesting. Will BAR get their first podiums next season? We'll have to wait and see, I suppose. Well done, mate. That was world class.
Thank you.
What if you could interview Lev, what he feels about the WCC and the points that they might have lost today?
Well, I can say that they're a bunch of clowns that cannot drive the wheel of the goddamn Red Alert LS12.
I'll have them if you want. Very, very happy for that. Don't worry about it. I'll take them. That was
I
really
will
quite
tell
something.
them by myself.
Oh, we've got Jake here as well, who has just had confirmed that the race winner of the Singapore Grand Prix, the British driver, is coming to the British outfit next season. Jake, what's your feelings about that one?
I mean, from the point of view of BAR, it wasn't a fantastic race. I mean, I've had words with Pimu and Stoley, and for Pimu exactly, he was whereabouts where he thought he would be. So obviously, I wasn't expecting a lot. So I'm okay with where Pimu finished. Stoley, I've heard he had a bit of an incident on lap 1. I wasn't there for that, but it's racing, it happens. But yeah, on the side of the BDA Academy and future driver movements, I could not be happier. It hurt a bit, I can't lie, seeing Charge win when he's not in a British car, but I'm happy for him, and I'm very happy for Het as well, manager for SCP. I think after a lot of turmoil, I think they deserved some good results. So yeah, looking forward to the rest of the season. That's the focus right now, but this race has definitely given me a bit of a confidence boost for next season too.
Absolutely, Grant. Definitely a race of two halves then. So the results of the team to come. And let's end it with a bang. Hetmenneke, you, for the first time since taking over as team principal of Scuderia Paracaro, see your team stand on the top step of the podium. It's the Italian and British national anthems being played. You've gone from last to first pretty much. How does this one feel?
It's amazing that I've never been this nervous in a race since my last top 10. It's great. Yeah, I nearly can't even describe it. It's ecstatic. Yeah.
You sound very pleased. And that really is quite something. SCP do have their golden days when they do have them. Do you reckon this will heighten the allure of drivers to come next season? I mean, what's the lineup potentially looking like? Who'll be alongside Gwetzley?
All I'm saying is a certain frontrunner from today's race might be on the cards to join us next season. Not dropping any names, but there is a contract on the table.
Very, very interesting indeed. We'll have to see who that is in the coming time. That was pretty unbelievable. Is Nuno still here? Yes, he is.
I am here.
Take the outro away, my good sir.
Alright, so we got the interviews over. Once again, I'm forgetting that we have interviews in the end. I'm very sorry for that, but either way, hope you guys enjoyed this race and also the interviews. Yeah, as I said before, next race is going to be in the South Korea track. That one that used to be raced during, I think, between 2010 and 2012 or 2013 in the F1 calendar. And so yeah, see you next week.